All right, let's get positive. Fantasy MVP. T-Gods. Some of us, I guess. Yeah. I mean, predictions, maybe not positive, but let's get positive in general. Let's pick who deserves it. T-Gods starts off.
So I wasn't lying. My MVP pick was indeed Cortland Sutton. We just went through that. He's dog water. I'll never draft him again on any team. But my MVP, because he looked out for me, he looked out for everybody. It's got to be Austin Eckler. He's ridiculous. Only 3 players scored more fantasy points than him this year. They were all quarterbacks. It was Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, and then it was my boy Austin Eckler. He's like, he gets a little dinked up, but he stays healthy. Like he's so reliable. He can score long touchdowns. He can score on the goal line. He can score as a wide receiver. Like he could do everything. I don't know if he can throw, but besides throwing, he could do it all.
And he cares about your fantasy team.
He does.
He does indeed. He does indeed. I don't know. He's just insane. And he had over 100 receptions, bro. That's like I want to know how many running backs scored or not scored. Got over 100 receptions. That's like of all time.
I think they showed that there's only 3. One of them are LT, and I don't know who the other one is. But it's
Did Danny Woodhead ever do it?
Probably not.
No,
maybe in Chargers history could be possible, but
I don't know. But I mean, Austin Eckler he's just better than your running back. So,
and some of your wide receivers.
Yeah,
literally, and some of your wide receivers. It's insane. Over 100 receptions, bro. 103.
Nuts.
He's crazy.
Absolutely crazy. Matt, who's your prediction? Who's your honorable mention?
My prediction was my boy going into this year, Chris Godwin. Finished wide receiver 18, missed 2.5 games. But when he was on the field, he was a target monster. He was producing. He was good to get you like 10 to 12 a game at least. But my honorable mention has to go to Christian McCaffrey. First off, kudos to him to playing every game of this season. He deserves it. It's nice to see him back and healthy on the field. And he did this on 2 teams throughout the year, which is unreal. He was back to his old ways, just being one of the best receiving backs, maybe only behind Austin Eckler. And him on the Niners offense next year is juicy as hell. Their offense is so good. I see them trying to keep that unit together. And I think it's just going to be the Christian McCaffrey show, honestly.
I love it. Q, who was your prediction? Who's your honorable mention for MVP?
Luckily, the last time we are going to speak of this guy. My MVP at the beginning of the season was going to be Kyle Pitts. That's all I got to say. But my honorable mention is going to be Devontae Adams. Of course, finished wide receiver 3 on the season. 5 games with 2 touchdowns, and he did all this with Derek Carr, who stinks, and Jared Stidham. Either way, who is better than Derek Carr?
Apparently,
easily better than Derek Carr. It's not that hard to be better than him, but he did it in the chip for you. You needed a good performance, and he was ranked very low ever since once they benched Derek Carr. But he's elite. I don't know where he'll be this year. After this year, hopefully still in Vegas because Matt got me his jersey. But regardless, he's up there with Justin Jefferson. You can argue for best receiver in the league. I don't think that's really hard to
definitely
whatever look an eye or poke an eye.
Bad an eye.
There was a time period in my life, like beginning of the season, where someone said that every day. It may have been Shawn most days, but maybe like Schultz said it one day or something. But bat and eye was used a week straight. Before that time, no one said that saying.
I didn't even bat an eye when that was happening.
Restart the streak.
All right. My prediction beginning of the season was Najee Harris. I really thought he had the potential to be the number 1 running back this season. So that's why I predicted him. He did finish at RB14. He was pretty mid most of the season. If you had drafted Najee, you weren't happy, but you weren't that disappointed. He still got you 10 most weeks. It might not have been pretty, but most of the time Najee got the job done. Couldn't complain too much. My honorable mention for MVP has to be Jalen Hurts. This man was QB1 heading through 15 weeks in, I think, 4-point passing touchdown leagues. But in general, Jalen Hurts was having a crazy season across the board. He averaged the most fantasy points among quarterbacks. And obviously missing the last 2 games hurts his case a little bit. So I wanted to at least put him in here as an honorable mention.
Imagine trading him for Kyler Murray.
God,
Yeah, don't forget the most running back touchdowns, Jamal Williams.
doesn't matter. Jalen Hurts
Matters
is the
a bit.
best. That doesn't matter.
Who was I starting? Okay, you're right. Singletary
Anyone.
was actually
Jalen Hurts
all right.
would just cover up those points.
I was scared of starting Singletary. That man is a bug. All right, Pat, it was like week 3. Leave me alone. Let's debate overall winner. Who do we give it to? Patrick Mahomes, Eckler,
Travis
Justin
Kelce.
Jefferson, Travis Kelce.
No Kelsey. No Kelsey.
Travis-
I'm sick of the
Unfortunately, I think
Kelsey
it
talk.
has-
It has to be Kelsey. He
It
was
might be
so
Justin
far,
Jefferson, though.
I might give it to Eckler.
Yeah, I'll give it to Eckler and be
Kelsey
happy.
was so far ahead of any other tight end.
Bro, but
and he probably could have finished like wide receiver 5 on the season if he was a receiver.
Bro, it's like Brady winning another Super Bowl, bro. It's just like, all right, like, cool. Good job, Trav. You did it
Let's
again.
go Eckler, then.
Go Eck.
Should we go Eckler? What are we thinking?
I think Eckler was the most consistent out of anybody else
Definitely.
on the list, aside from Kelsey.
Yeah,
We
Eckler
can
was
give it
so
to Eckler.
consistent. He never had a bad game. He had 11 points in literally every single game. He had multiple games of 20 points, multiple games of 30 points. I think he had 5 30-point games.
And he snapped all the
Or
playoffs. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Kelsey did too. But
Yeah,
I don't hate Kelsey. I just whatever. If you guys
It's
want to
just
give it
the
to Kelsey,
It's the positional advantage for Kelsey. Kelsey's just way better than every other tight end, so it's an automatic dub every single week at tight end.
He's a menace.
Eckler.
he is a menace. I'm not denying that. Easily the best, but like,
We can go Eck.
I'm going to go
Eck.
Eckler. Let's go Eckler.
Eck
Let's go
deserves
Eckler.
it.
Austin Eckler, congratulations. Fantasy MVP. You probably won a lot of people their fantasy championship. Big fan of fantasy football himself. Gotta love Austin Eckler. Big shout out there.